Guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi, core reporters, I should say, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome to my channel in general. I am really looking forward to talking about this week's episode of Vanderpump Rules with you guys. Like, holy moly, the amount of red flags radiating off of Scheana Shay's man, Brock, whatever his last name. Did you guys catch some too? Like, wasn't it wild? Like, just how callous and flippant this man was about, the summer child he's got with Sheena, the children he abandoned in Australia, Sheena's mom's role and relationship with her and, her granddaughter as well in her life. Like, it was a complete mess. I seriously want to talk about it with you guys. And, a lot of people said that this season of the show was not going to be that interesting because Stassi and Kristen are missing, but I actually think we're going to get to see more of these other characters who would have otherwise been overlooked because of all of the dramatics that Stassi and Kristen brought to the show. Like, I'm actually looking forward to it. Just to get off topic a little bit here, the preview for next week's episode looked very interesting as well. Like, Katie Maloney and Tom Schwartz are going to be letting us into their fertility journey, which is going to be really interesting to see. Like, I think that we are in for a lot. We are in for a treat this season, and I'm happy that Stassi and Kristen are gone because now we are able to see, these other background characters, so to speak. So somebody says on her vlog, Sheena's vlog during quarantine, she wanted to be the paint in a bucket challenge, and she filmed them doing it, and Brock looks so aggressive and mad, but their baby is cute. Yeah, like, it is a mess. And just like Jenny's saying, she's always forcing love and relationships where they do not belong, and I think that this sadly has caught up to her. Now she's kind of shackled herself to this man who she absolutely should not have. DM says, I could not believe the way he spoke to her and her mother in episode 3. Me neither. I am flabbergasted by it. I felt so bad seeing her so do well with her baby, yet the baby's father is so unsupportive. How dare he tell her don't use the hormones excuse? What? No wonder his last baby mama cut him off. And hi, Dose of Chelsea. It is so nice to see you here. What's crazy is that the only reason I know Brock, or whatever his name is that he went viral years ago on Instagram due to his looks. He went viral on Instagram for that reason. I didn't even know he was viral, but wow, that's interesting. It must be the long hair, I guess, and like the Jason Momoa comparisons is what I'm imagining. Shan's here. Hi, Shan. It's always so great to see you. It's bad when the mod doesn't get the notification. Oh no, so sorry. Ramel's here too. Hi, Grace, everyone. I haven't watched the show in years. Just here to hear the tea. Thanks for being here. You were in for a treat because this is a wild, wild ride. I personally watch on hayu.com. I pay $5 Canadian a month to watch all of this on hayu.com, and I use my VPN from here in Europe to be able to watch it. So that's a good way that you would be able to tune into it. Love can't be that blind. When it comes to Sheena, she is so blind. She just wants that love. She wants to think she's in love. She's in love with love more than she actually, whatever. I don't know how to finish that, but like, how the saying goes. Yeah. Okay, so for Romel and everybody else, hi, Brittany. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you. Let's do this. And Alyssa's here too. Hi, Alyssa. So at the very beginning of the episode, Charlie, I thought she was talking to her mannequin, you guys, but it turns out that she was talking to her boyfriend on the phone. Can we just get into this self-tanner stuff? Look at her hand versus look at her face. Like, it's wild to me. Like, these are two completely different ethnicities going on, and it was just so harsh. I know people always get on Lala and Sheena and Stassi for their tans, but Charlie really frightened me with the level of tanner that she was using in this week's episode. So then we get into Lala. Last week, she talked about having a night nurse. And then this week, we're introduced to Karen, who is her baby nurse. I personally like that for her. It's made this whole baby journey more manageable for her. And Lala is someone with a very short fuse. So to me personally, knowing that she's got people around her to help her so that she's not exploding in front of her daughter or on her daughter it gives me personally more peace of mind. And I love that for her. I really do. She is living her best life on Randall's dime. Joob Joobs, she says, hey, just popped in to say hello before I go to work. Missing the last few lives. Definitely always love Grace's rehabs. Très bien, mon ami. Oh, merci beaucoup d'être là. It's so nice to see you. Thank you. Yeah, it was extreme, Shan. That was extreme level of tanning going on. So, Katie. Katie is still trying to get Schwartz to realize that he is being railroaded by his partner, Tom Sandoval. And so she's telling him, listen, I want you to stop letting him steamroll you. This is what you should do, blah, blah, blah. And Tom, as usual, was in complete denial. And he's just so irritating. Like the fact that this man, out of all the options that they had, this man has been given the opportunity to own not one, but two freaking restaurants. It's amazing how some people are able to fail upwards in life. It really is like, he's just so like useless to me. So now let's get into Brock, the first of many red flags that Brock exhibited this episode, shall we? So this episode, Randall is a huge pickleball fan, and so he's made it so that everybody has to do a pickleball tournament. And Brock is incredibly competitive and incredibly athletic. So what does he do? He gets his deadbeat ass up at 4 a.m. when he should be helping Sheena, with nursing and feeding the baby and changing the diapers. And instead of helping her, he goes to the court to go practice a couple of hours early so that he can hopefully win that damn tournament. Look at that. Sheena comes in talking, to Ariana about how this man left her with a baby for the 4 a.m. feeding. And when pressed about it, what does deadbeat Brock say? Well, you have your mom at home. It was her job to do that for us because Sheena had the mom come along as a nurse, like a little bit of help whenever they needed it, or like when they were going to do these Coachella things or this or that, which makes sense. But this man really just acted like, what? So she was going to do everything for us at this point. And that was just not fair. Like he is just so damn disrespectful, you guys. Like, did you guys did anybody else's jaw drop at that point? Dear Dana says, Lisa Vanderpump has given both Tom such incredible opportunities. They should always be on top of their game. Exactly. And that is something that I really love about Sandoval. He'll go 100% in, but Schwartz, not so much. Two restaurants, dang, some people are so lucky to be given that, right? It's crazy. Shan says, Brock clearly has an addiction to workout endorphins. It seems like it too. And just like being so competitive as well. Like I was so turned off by it. And what was interesting was that what he told to Sheena when she kind of called him out for it, he's like, well, I thought it was going to be, we're going to have your mom kind of like the situation that they have, they being Lala and Randall. They've got a night nurse, they've got a day nurse, they've got everybody watching that kid. And so Sheena, I think she got a little bit like jealous of that because she decides to start going in on Lala. And I really want to know, by the way, if you guys watch their social medias, please let me know. I didn't get a chance to look before this recap, but did Lala clap back at Sheena's comments? Because Sheena, I felt like, was mom shaming. When Brock asked, I thought we were going to have your mom do the night nursing thing the way that Lala and Randall have a night nurse. What did Sheena say in her confessional? She goes, I'm not the type of person who's going to hire round the clock excessive, keyword excessive, help. As the camera pans to Lala fixing her lip gloss and Randall fanning himself with a portable fan, and have a stranger look after my child. And then at the end, she goes, I want to raise my own child, as if to say that Lala is not raising her own child. To me, that 1000% reeked of jealousy. If Sheena was not stuck being the sole breadwinner for her family, what does Brock do, or what does he claim to do? I don't know. But we know that Sheena is the money in that household. And if she wasn't stuck in that position, she absolutely, in my opinion, would have nurses or night nurses or nannies or whatever on deck 24/7 to help her out. I really don't like this competition of who suffers more. Like sometimes you hear like, oh, like my birth was hardest because I didn't have an epidural, so I'm this, I'm that, like I'm a champion. Or, oh, my like motherhood journey is like, more authentic or whatever because I didn't have people to help me, or I was a single mom. Oh, I was a single mom and poor. Like, what is this competition with suffrage? I really don't understand the struggle Olympics that goes on sometimes. Shan goes, how many times are we going to see this 80s outfit from Sheena? Listen, it's kind of like her singing her good as gold on unprompted, unasked. It's never going to end. It is never going to end. Ramel says that he heard that Sheena's baby daddy Brock has other kids. Is that true? Yes. He's got 2 other kids, but he left them in Australia to try and become, I guess, an influencer or something out in America. Mountain Mama says, I think Vanderpump Rules is making Brock look bad. He isn't a deadbeat. He's got a gym. He was enjoying the planned weekend, but Sheena was emotional and her mom and her ganged up on him. Okay, so he's got a gym. That's what we know that he does for work. But how do you leave your kids behind and never see or speak to them for 4 years? I kind of consider that to be at least a little bit of a deadbeat personally. On Sheena's YouTube channel, Brock always acts like he's super dad, but on Vanderpump Rules, he's more involved with the group. Yeah, I think he's like too fixated with trying to fit in with a circle of friends. And I find that Randall's the same. Like he really, really, truly wants to be liked by these people who pretty much only really tolerate him because he's got a private jet. It's probably LVP effing with the edits at Bravo. She is shady. Well, you never know. Sheena was on Watch What Happens Live and she was really nice about Lala. I was confused after all the shade she threw during the episode. That might be because she knows that Lala will come for her damn neck if she keeps messing with her. And she would deserve it. Like, it's not fair. The stuff that she's been saying about Lala as a mother, to me, are disgusting. And it's incredibly unfair for her to be going in on her like that. No, I am not with it. I know she really had a lot of shade for Lala only in the confessional. Yeah, it's crazy, you guys. It truly, truly is. And please, Shan is an amazing moderator for my channel, you guys. Please, if you're enjoying this live stream, make sure to like the video if you can. If you want to have your comment pinned in the chat, definitely, if you can, if you're able to, and you want to support this channel, send over a super chat. I always split my super chats with Shannon Van for volunteering to help me run this chat and moderate it for you guys every single week. So, you guys, can we get into how Lala acted like a complete basket case during pickleball? She was cursing up a storm, smashing her racket and everything. And to me, again, this is what I said a little bit earlier on in the recap, but I am so happy that someone with a fuse as short as this, a temper as wild as this, has pretty much 24/7 help, helping her out with her child. Can you imagine this woman who will go this crazy over a game of pickleball or whatever, watching an infant 24/7 by herself without help? She would have a meltdown. Thank God she has help. I think someone like her absolutely needs it personally. And that's not shade. That's the truth. I'm happy for people who have the means to get help. It's nice to get help. It's okay to get help. Shan says she's got good as gold in her head now. Sorry, girl. Sheena doesn't have the income to hire extra care for the baby. She's always complaining about something. I agree. And that's what's got her so pressed right now over the fact that Lala has done it. I don't know why Sheena put herself in this position. She's got the fame, the beauty, the whatever she needs to land someone, that can get that for her if that is exactly what it is that she wants, So don't be bitter about not getting it if you don't go out and get it yourself the way that Lala has. So now Randall, by the way, ultimately wound up winning the pickleball tournament, after Brock ditched his kid and his baby mama and made her mom watch the baby with a bad back on her birthday in the morning. And to top it off, he didn't even come second place. Second place was Tom Schwartz. Tom freaking Schwartz came second place, and Tom Schwartz doesn't exercise, and he's also definitely not about to get up early in the morning to, practice for something like this. So, can we get into, by the way, Sandoval calling around to plan everything for James's proposal to Raquel? You would think it was his own proposal, you guys. Like, he absolutely was adorable. Taco Man rentals, blah, 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 margaritas, this, how may I help you? Tom was on top of it all. He's an amazing friend. I know he could be problematic, and especially Shan, and some of you other guys in the chat put me onto game last week's recap, but he's so sweet, like he tries so freaking hard. I don't know. I have a soft spot for him. I might be one of those people who are just like biased when it comes to beautiful people. I'm just lost in the beauty. Katie sends a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, Katie. And she didn't even leave a message. She's like, you know what? Let's get Shan and Van paid out here. Thank you so much. That is amazing. Someone asked if I watched Unexpected. No, it's Katie, by the way. So this is her question. Do I watch Unexpected? No, I don't watch Unexpected because I don't have TLC, and it's really difficult to get it online from abroad. So I haven't been able to tune into that. Though I wish they would send me episodes of some of these shows, you guys, so I can cover more. This is what I mean. Sandoval is so damn extra. Okay, but spoiler alert. Sandoval had been paying for all of these vendors for Archella. Wouldn't you want that as your friend? Oh my God. This was thousands of dollars. We're going to get into it later, but oh my gosh, like he really goes in for his friends. Mountain Mama says Tom won't get engaged because his girlfriend sucks. More than Ariana sucking, I think it's just, they're not matched. They're not matched in what it is that they want. And it makes me sad that they're both depriving themselves and their partner of the things that they truly want. Ariana should be with someone like her who doesn't want marriage and doesn't want kids. Tom should be with someone like him who wants marriage and wants kids. It's sad to see them both hold each other back in that respect. So we then find out, as they're playing like Jenga or whatever, that Tom Sandoval ultimately wound up peeing on his white faux fur coat. And so Katie Maloney, it's her turn to, make up a dare for somebody at the table. And so she dares Lala to go ahead and put that pissy faux fur coat on. And Lala actually did it. I was like, okay, I get being a sport or whatever, a good sport, but you're going to do that like someone's pee? That is disgusting. I heard that pee was actually sterile or clean or whatever, but still, it's disgusting. It must have smelled so freaking bad at the very least. I can't believe she did it. Were you guys surprised to see her actually do it? Like, what was the point? Like, I don't think Katie actually expected her to do it, Yeah, so that was that. Now, then we get into Sheena's mom. Sheena's mom ultimately ends up dragging Brock for ditching her and leaving her with the baby at 4:00 in the morning on her own birthday. She goes, so, how was pickleball? Was it worth leaving early in the morning to go practice? And I wonder if at this point she knew that Brock had not even come second place, and definitely not won in this competition. She was just being so messy, and I loved it. And so Brock, this is when he has red flag number 2, you guys. He starts talking about how he doesn't have a great relationship with Sheena's mother, and he calls their relationship an employee-employer relationship. Was that disrespectful or not? Please let me know in the comments. I might just be sensitive, but to me, disrespectful with a capital D, it was so freaking rude. They are not paying Sheena's mom to be their 24/7 nanny. They only had her there like here and there, like whenever they're at home, and just for this trip to do like a little bit of care whenever they go out with other people and have big parties. So for him to call it an employee-employer relationship, like he is giving her benefits and a full-blown salary, disrespectful. I can't stand this guy. Red flag number 2. Am I being sensitive or no? Let me know, guys. Let me put my water down and see what you guys have to say. Mm-mm. Oh, you guys are still talking about Ariana and Tom. Ariana's too cranky. I agree. Ariana and Tom are not matched whatsoever. Ariana's so gloom and doom to me most of the time. She needs to work on herself so much more. I always felt that way about her too. I always felt like she's a little bit of a drip. Lala has had worse bodily fluid on her that we absolutely can agree with. This was probably nothing to her. Go on marriage boot camp. Me too. That would be quite interesting to watch, eh? So I'm seeing you guys say that this was disrespectful. Okay, good. It's not just me being a little bit crazy. This man talking about his future mother-in-law and his relationship as employee and whatever is just foul. Foul, foul, foul. Oh, here comes Shan. And then what does she say? Okay, she goes, okay, Grace, I'll give you that. It was not a nice thing to say, but I sort of get what he was saying. Sort of. Ooh, we are getting spicy. One thing that I really love about your opinion, Shan, is that they're always like so different from mine, but somehow like we always find a way to meet in the middle. I want to know why you feel that way. In fact, I'm going to drop a link for you because I need to know. I need to know because maybe I'm on the Brock hate train because I really don't like this guy. To me, I feel like Sheena could have done a lot better. And just like you say, Delaney, I bet Sheena is paying the bill and not Brock. So whose employee is she? Definitely, really, not Brock's. Definitely red flags. Ramel says, I thought they got along. Are they faking their bond on the YouTube channel or the show? I really do need to get into watching their YouTube channel because this, it seems like they paint a very different picture of themselves. But listen, on the YouTube channel, they can self-edit and paint this picture of them being this perfect, happy family. But on Vanderpump Rules, they're going to use all the footage. Sure, sometimes it's not great. Remember, a producer actually got fired because she came out and said that she was doing her best to make Sheena look crazy, with all of the footage that they're compiling of her. So maybe that is something that is happening again with Sheena. She might be getting an unfair edit, but it's always biased regardless of the platform. But I definitely do want to try to watch their show and see what it's all about. So now, okay, Raquel, sorry to people who love Raquel, but to me, I said it last week, I say it all the time, but she's always made me at least slightly uncomfortable. Like, I just find her so, I don't know, like so odd. Oh, by the way, let's go back here. So Sheena tells Brock in front of the mom that she didn't want the mom doing anything for her birthday. And then he goes in front of the mom again. Yeah, but she has a job. Like, he is so unempathetic. Honestly, it does not surprise me that this man bounced and ghosted on his kids, and the fact that this is the same, he's so dismissive. It's a pattern with him. He dismisses his kids, he dismisses his wife that he was married to at the time. And then when Sheena has a miscarriage, where's this dismissive man? Playing golf. Playing freaking golf. It's just who he is to me. It really is just who he is to me. I can't with him. I absolutely can't. Yeah, but she has a job. It's her birthday, dude. It's 4 a.m. and she's got a bad back. Like, you are just so selfish and so unreasonable. I can't. So back to Raquel. She makes me uncomfortable. Again, it just feels like there's nothing but cobwebs in between her ears. God bless her. She seems very nice and everything, but she also just, I don't know. So Tom Sandoval asks her to make a toast. It was her dare in the Jenga game like a couple hours ago. And so she had to make a toast. And like, it was, not that great, but she tried. And then now, before they head over to Archella, Tom asks her to make the toast for everybody before they hop on the bus. And then she has to cry to James about it. I was like, really? She's like, oh man, I don't have the screenshot, but this is James handling it very well. He ultimately encourages her and tells her that she can do everything that she wants to do. But I really feel like Raquel has a lot of deep-seated issues that she would be a lot better off like discussing with an actual therapist. Like, it's great that James is there to support her, but I do believe that she needs to have a therapist to help her work through all of her childhood trauma. Ramel's here. Hey, Ramel.
Hey, I'm just, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm just getting all the tea, like, cause a lot of people may not like Sheena, but I kind like she's not that bad to me, even though she do stuff that I dislike. And one thing about me, I'm not like a blind supporter or like a bandwagon or blind fan to like celebrities or singers or reality stars. If
Uh-huh.
somebody's wrong, I would say they're wrong. Like for an example, Portia. I like Portia, but she was damn wrong for getting with Simon. But anyways,
Yeah.
um, I haven't watched Vanderpump Rules in years. Like literally, I don't know. It kind of gave me the vibe of Jersey Shore, but a blonde version
Yes, I can
and
see
brunette
that. Yes.
version.
Mhm.
And I liked it in the beginning, and
Mhm.
but I don't know what turned me off from it. Is Jackson Brittany there?
No, not this
Oh,
season. So
thank
Jax
God.
has been problematic as well. That's why I tuned back in. I was like, I can't watch if Stassi's still on it, and I can't watch if Max is still on it. And then as soon as I got rid of those two, I was like, yes, let me back in.
Yeah. On your I get what you're saying. I'm not saying he has to kiss the ground her mother walks on, but it was kind of
Mhm.
a little bit shady. And Sheena, that was a little shady. I'm not a fan of Lala, but like that's what she does. Who are you to make a comment on what somebody else do? Like if I had the money to get a nanny or a babysitter, I would, but I would only have a nanny where if like I'm traveling or the person I'm with is if she's traveling, if like
Mhm.
if we're by ourselves, we can have help. But when we're both in the same state and we ain't really booked, then we don't need the nanny at home. I would just have the nanny when one of us or both of us are traveling. But I don't get the
Exactly.
shade.
Uh-huh. Me neither. I felt like it was not nice at all. Like I think that of course people are understandably very protective of their kids and very defensive about their motherhood and how, they handle it and stuff. So it's not really fair to be putting stuff out like that about your friend. Like no, it was a bit much.
And I'm gonna really need. Well, I don't know. I think Lisa Vanderpump. She has her little shady, funny moments when she
Uh-huh.
says "Bye, Kyle." I love that because I
Yeah.
can't stand Kyle ass. She is the head snake of Beverly Hills. But I'm not a super fan of Lisa Vanderpump. I feel like she backed her with the edits. I do because I don't like Tom. I forget they like both of the times I'm not a fan of, but that one time I forgot his name.
Schwartz or Sandoval?
Which one is married to Katie?
Schwartz.
Yeah, I can't. She
Me
she need
neither.
to. They both need
He's
to break up with them.
he is constantly throwing her under the bus. And I, as to watch as another woman, it's like, imagine your husband doing that to you. Hell no. But thanks so much for calling. I got to pick up from Margot now, okay?
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. 2 days of you, Ramel. That's awesome. Hi, Margot. How are you?
I'm good. I was like, you said my name, Margot. You didn't say it the other way you say it. I'm like, um, I,
Yes.
I completely agree. I was raised by nannies, and I'm just an emotionally distant person, but whatever, it's cool. If you can afford them, get them, right? But
Yes.
I agree with Raquel. It's because she makes you feel like you're drunk because she talks so slow. You're just like,
Yes.
am I drunk or are you speaking? Like I understand. I have to fast forward through it. A lot of it, like it just she makes you uncomfortable because it's like are we still here? Like, are we still talking about the same thing? Because by the time she answers your question, it's like Thursday, then of the next week.
Well, exactly, right? You're kind of like, like she gives you a headache. It's kind of like Dorit in the Beverly Hills reunion part one yesterday. Like they just talk around a point so much that you're like, wait, what were we even talking about? Like this is so weird.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and I agree with the last caller. Tom Schwartz has to go. I didn't like him in the first season. I was like, you are shady. He's the nice guy who you never think is shady, but he's probably a serial killer.
Yes, you always have to beware of the nice guy. The nice guy is never actually nice. He's manipulative.
Exactly. I mean, he took a shower in a lake before his wedding. He has no morals at this point. I don't trust him.
I
Like,
forgot about that.
I think about it every once in a while. It just kind of like sits in my brain rent free, and I'm just like, why did you're getting married? It's not like you're going. I mean, you don't have a job. You're not a model. What is he, like 5'7"? I know it's not. I feel like I'm going on them, but it's like, and then Lala with the urine stuff. Girl, you've had worse. I'm 90% sure you're one of those girls who go to Dubai and those sheets go number two on you. I'm 90% sure. We all know one.
You are killing me. Dubai.
I mean, we all know one girl who it's like, why are you so like you live in a studio apartment? Why are you driving a Range Rover? It's because
Yeah.
Sheik did number 2 on you in Dubai, and it's fine. Live your life, girl. That is fine.
Oh, I love it. Everyone in the chat is eating it up. They're like, oh my God, not the lake. Margot Queen.
Yeah, I just got off of work, so I'm feeling my meetings. I'm feeling really shady because I had things to say. So Vanderpump Rules is gonna get it.
I love it. Thanks so much for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, you guys. Okay. Isn't it amazing? Ramel and Margot, when they call, it is just a freaking hoot. I love it. So, yeah, Raquel, like Margot said, just the way that she just talks, like, I don't know what she's saying. Like, you think you speak English until you listen to certain people speak sometimes. You're like, what are they talking about? But James did handle it well. He rose to the occasion to support his future wife. Okay, guys, yes or no? Did Katie Maloney's haircut look like a Karen haircut? Please let me know, because I gotta say, I'm Team Schwartz on this. It is a little bit of a Karen haircut. But one thing I can say about Katie, though, is that she has such beautifully, lusciously thick hair. Oh my God, I'm jealous of how thick her hair is. Like, her hair looks strong and healthy and just juicy, I swear. But that haircut is a little bit Karen-ish. She was asking Tom if she looked nice, and that is what he told her. I was like, damn, Tom, you're always just throwing, your poor, long-suffering wife under the bus. Shan says, no, I think a Karen is like the Kate Gosselin. Oh, okay, like the little shaves a little bit lower than this. I'm seeing a little bit of yes from Maribel, LMFAO. Agree, Shannon Van. The way he was manipulating Schwartz about him not steamrolling him, and now quickly Schwartz cowers and says, okay, wow, I actually felt bad for Katie there. Seeing her man is a puss. And speaking about that, Chevy Lynn, the fact that Schwartz could not even have that conversation with Sandoval without throwing Katie into it, again, is why I cannot stand him. He's such a bad husband. Why couldn't he just be like, you know what, Sandoval, Tom, I feel like sometimes you steamroll me. What does he do? He goes, Katie feels like you steamroll me. Like, he's just so awful. But you and Shanna write that Sandoval ultimately did end up steamrolling our Schwartzy. But I think Schwartz is just the type of person that doesn't command respect. Like, there's nothing about him where you look at him, in my opinion, and go, oh, like, this is a very respectable person. Like, I got to come correct. Like, this is, to me, someone where you're kind of like, he's a little dopey. Like, you're like, he just seems so dopey to me. So, like, I could see why it would be easy for someone to walk all over him. He pretty much invites it, in my humble opinion. So a little bit after that little scene, we find out, we spoke about this a little bit earlier, you guys, but Tom Sandoval paid for pretty much everything for this proposal. Is he going overboard? Is he trying to buy friendship? I remember Katie on Watch What Happens Live last week. She said that Sandoval is the most desperate to be famous. And I think Lala said the same thing and liked or whatever. Does he do this sort of thing out of genuine desire to help his friends? Or does he do it because he knows that everybody loves when he does it and it increases his profile, amongst the viewers? What do you guys think about that? Here, like, I only have a screenshot of him like paying $750, but like there's another thing that costs $3,000, another thing that costs like $1,000, another thing that costs this. So like, I feel like there's always something. I feel like he overpaid. Like, I get him paying for a portion, maybe just the 750 or something, but for him to pay for pretty much everything, I don't know. That was a bit too damn much. Shan says that he is living vicariously through James. Brittany, this is going back on the Schwartz. I said he's a bad husband because he's always throwing Katie under the bus. Britt says she doesn't think he's a bad husband. I think he's just non-confrontational and would rather be quiet and make other people happy. But you know what? There's a difference between being non-confrontational and throwing your wife under the bus. I think he is non-confrontational, But I think he's also constantly throwing his wife under the bus. Mountain Mama says that Tom should get married. They're more compatible. I honestly think so too. I think that the two of them are soulmates. They've seen each other naked. They've kissed on the mouth a couple of times. Just go ahead and lock that in. Probably people do that. I was shocked he paid for everything. Or is this his way of manipulation? You do have to wonder, what is it? Like, is there an ulterior motive behind him paying for everything? Because there very well could be. Does he want to hold that over his head? Britt says Jax is probably kicking himself for not staying friends with Tom. Yeah, because Jax probably needs the money right about now from someone like Tom. Babies are expensive, especially when you don't have the VPR paychecks rolling in anymore. Shan, she keeps going in on my Tom. Tom S is a try-hard dork. Damn it. Oh, man. Okay, I see it. I can't stand people who do stuff to be liked. I could get that too, because you know what? At the end of the day, doing things specifically for like an ulterior motive is manipulative. So can we get into Sheena? Sheena. She goes in on Lala for the second time this episode. Do you guys remember what she says? So Lala and Randall come to the house with a baby, and they have a baby play date between Ocean and Summer. I like these names. I know these names can be a little bit controversial, but I like Ocean and I like Summer as names. Ocean is beautiful. It's cool. It's new. It's edgy. Summer reminds me of, the show, The OC. Like, one of the girls who was dating Seth was named Summer. Rachel Bilson. She played Summer. That's what it reminds me of. And Rachel is just so pretty to me. So it's just such a pretty name. So anyway, for some reason, Sheena decides to start going in on Lala again. So Randall talks about how like he just started changing diapers. It's the first diaper he changed. Yeah, that is freaking questionable considering, their baby is a couple months old. But to me, it's not something that I would comment on. It's like, listen, they've got nannies. Lala's there as well. And Randall, he's like a director or something. So maybe he's not even like in town that often, right? So I would kind of, leave it at that. But what does Sheena do? She goes on her confessional gangster, and she says, no amount of money could make me want to have a baby with someone who wasn't going to be a 50-50 partner. And then she says that she guesses that Lala can be bought. Like, there's a price tag on Lala. To me, I hate like to call women jealous always or whatever, but the fact that Sheena keeps on emphasizing money when it comes to Lala's relationship with Randall makes me feel like there's a little bit of resentment from Sheena towards Brock for not bringing in much money. And she keeps projecting the whole money thing onto Lala's relationship. Listen, Sheena, your man is not a 50-50 partner with his ex-wife on those kids. He's a 0% partner. So like, what are you talking about? Randall, he's got like what, 50-50 custody? Like, he's always with his daughters that he has before Lala as well. Like, there's a big difference between Randall and Brock. And on top of that, didn't Brock just ditch you and your mom in the morning to go like be competitive over pickleball just to lose on the court, and like he had no remorse for it, and he told you to like stop blaming you're being upset at him on hormones? Like, he's awful. What is she talking about? I don't understand why she has been going in on Lala. It's horrible. Let me see what some of you guys are saying about this situation. I heard Stassi and Kristen are trying to get back on the show. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. LVP is trying to get them back on the show too. I did a video on this yesterday. LVP says that she would like to see them back on the show. It's things like that that make me side-eye LVP. If those two of them did the stuff that they did to Faith against a dog or something, like, I don't know, harass a dog or whatever, put it in danger, then she would never want to see them again. But because it was Faith, and because LVP doesn't care about, these sorts of issues, she just is kind of like, whatever. Brock's other daughter's name is Winter. Yeah, similar theme name and exact same birth date. Like, that is disgusting what he and Sheena have done to that child and to the ex-wife. We're definitely going to dig in on that because it is a mess. That is Sheena That is Sheena named. Oh, so she named her Summer after the character from the OC. That's cute. I hate confessional gangsters. Yes, say that stuff to the face. Sheena, your baby daddy, is not a 50-50 partner with his other kids. Oh, and thank you so much, Dems Punked America. Thank you so much. Can't go 24 hours without missing my kids, right? Like, how do you go 4 years? And then they try to like excuse it and go, oh, he moved to America for a better life for his kids. You would think he came from some really, really incredibly impoverished country, but this man came from Australia. No, you don't move from Australia to America for a better life for your kids, okay? And you don't do that to and not speak to them for several years as well. Like nothing adds up. Nothing adds up about this story. He's so sketchy. Red flag number, I lost track. What is this? 3 or 4 this episode? It's crazy. So, can we get into this? I think it was Tasha who posted this earlier or somebody else, but Sheena and this man had the nerve to have this baby on the exact same date as the other daughter that Brock left behind and ghosted. And again, Summer is the name of the replacement baby, and Winter is the name of the original baby. And Sheena, gaslighting Sheena, claims that she's always wanted to name her baby, her daughter, Summer, since she was 16 years old. The first thing that went to my head was that corny confessional she did about wanting to have a child with that other guy she was with, the 7-minute TV guy, Madison Marie Parks Valletta, Rob's kid. She was like, and this was only in 2017 that she said she wanted to have a child named Madison Marie. So which is it, Sheena? Gaslighting Sheena, you are such a freaking liar. What she did is horrible. I have to tell you guys a story about, and if you guys have a story about how this impacted you, maybe this happened in your life where, one of your parents went on to have a kid with the same birthday as you and like they're not that involved in your life or whatever, or something like that, let me know because this is deep. So I met someone before who is a step parent, a stepmom to a girl. And this girl was the oldest child of the biological mom and her husband. So yeah, the husband's okay, if you're following. And so the mom then goes on to cheat on the husband and have another kid. It's another girl, and they have the exact same birthday as this woman's stepchild. And so this woman told me that the child is so broken by this. She feels so unloved in that home. She feels very much replaced by this child because, they're always having big parties for the younger, daughter who shares the same birthday and everything. And so she and her husband decided that they will not have kids because the daughter is just so like, this is something that has really, truly impacted her. So just like seeing this from the perspective of knowing someone who's got a child in this situation, it just makes me all the more disgusted with Sheena and everything that she's done this episode to try and not gaslight, but deflect attention from how disturbing, how almost narcissistic her relationship with Brock is, and the fact that they had a child and did this to his original child. I'm sorry, but it's sick. It is sick. What they did is absolutely sickening to me personally. Maybe they didn't have the birthday on purpose, to have it like, similar or whatever. But for them to go and name her Summer, wow, it is a slap in the face to his daughter, Winter, in my opinion. And I gotta say, Randall and Lala's reactions were hilarious, by the way. This is Randall looking at him like, wait, you haven't seen your kid? And you know what? Deadbeat Brock says it so casually that he hadn't seen his kids in 4 years. This is Randall's face, his eyes and everything. By the way, he looks like Big Ed here. I was like, wait, Big Ed. So Lala's reaction was, wait a minute, like 4 years? He had to have meant 4 days because what the hell? How do you go 4 years without seeing your own kids? And then she genuinely cries. She sheds genuine tears about the thought of going 4 years without seeing her own daughter. And here comes gaslighting Sheena. It sounds bad, but there's a lot more to it. Girl, bye. GTF. Oh, what are you talking about? There was not a lot more to it. You were just a bird having a baby with a damn deadbeat. Like, honestly, how dumb do you have to be to have a baby with someone who you already know is a damn deadbeat? And of course, all these deadbeats have the same story, right? I want to be in my kid's life, but the mom is keeping me out. Dude, you left Australia to go to America and you never looked back. Stop it. Stop. He's like, oh, she cut out my family and everybody and this and that. You cut yourself out. You're the one who's not checking in on these people. Like, it is horrible. Sorry, I'm not a fan. Brittany says that she did have a miscarriage prior to summer. That is absolutely true. And where was Brock when she had that miscarriage? Out golfing and not even thinking about her. Felicia says, does the baby daddy have a job? Well, someone said a little bit earlier up that he owns some sort of a gym, but I'm not sure about the financial state of that gym. And just a little bit of a PSA from Chevy Lynn. There's a missing girl she's missing from Tennessee, and she's been missing for a couple months and her name is Summer Moon. Wow. I hope she's found. And how crazy is it that she shares the exact same name with Sheena's daughter? Just the T says, wow, isn't it crazy? Yep. Shan says, hey, you, long time no see to Felicia. Wow. While watching it, I was calling Brock a narcissist too. I have 20 years of experience with a family cult leader like narcissist. Ooh, you got to come in and give me that tea sometime because, this is just so low key, I forgot what the word is, but it's just, he's really like slowly. It's like the frog in a thing of boiling water. Sheena is the frog right now. And this guy is the pot of boiling water that is about to ruin her damn life. Shan says, I can't judge Brock. I've known women who intentionally keep their kids away from the dad. That is true. That does happen. But I feel like more often than not, it's these men having ducktails. They're just, they always claim that the woman is keeping them away from their children. He looks like, buddy, you are a POS. And just the fact that Sheena, knowing she's in this mess of a situation, would go out there and have a baby with him at her age. Are you kidding? You could do so much better. Oh, by the way, Larissa says, we don't want any tears from Brock. Does the Sam to her. Next new baby will be Autumn. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he has another baby, replacement family, and names it Autumn. So let me see. I just want to make sure I have it all here. So yeah, he talks about being no contact with the child and everything. And then here Sheena is acting like he escaped from a war-torn third world country or something. This man did not escape from Syria to go to America to have a better life for his family. No, he wanted to be famous or something and catch himself, a total dummy like you who would fall for him. And so, by the way, did you guys notice that Lala genuinely cried when she thought about the, not seeing her own child for 4 years? This man, this is him trying to cry. He's like, oh, the last time I saw them was at Denver airport and I had a photo saying goodbye to them both. And then he just stares at the camera, attempting to cry. But of course, he cannot cry because he does not give an F-U-C-K about what it is that he left behind in Australia. He's fake. And I think that he's going to ruin Sheena's life. I think, she played herself getting with him because it's not going to be good, and I really hope she doesn't marry him, because he seems like the type of man who will try to go for everything. He will try to get full custody of your kid. He will try to get not even just 50-50, but like 80-20. 80 being him, 20 being you or something like that. Oh, I had to give up my gym. My gym used to be successful, but I had to give it up to support Sheena as a Vanderpump Rule star. I had to appear in all the episodes. I can't with him. Shan probably wants to kill me because Shan is so fair to him. Shan, I'm sorry. I just can't. To me, he just gives red flag after red freaking flag. And it's like Dems is saying, like, come on. Have you even tried to go to court for these kids? He clearly didn't. Come on. No. Ramel says, I see what Shan is saying, but not saying he's a deadbeat, but there are deadbeat fathers. Exactly. Yeah, like there are situations for sure where women keep the men from the kids, but I think that this is an excuse from a lot of men who don't want anything to do with the kids. Or maybe I'm just jaded from watching Teen Mom, because this is what they always say. Remember when Adam never wanted anything to do with Aubrey, then he abused Chelsea, gets a new girl. Oh, Chelsea's keeping me from my kid. Young and pregnant, Stefan doesn't even know how old his child is. Oh, Kayla's keeping me from my kid. It's always an excuse that they use. Felicia says, red flag, red flag. Cherie says she doesn't feel sorry for, Shan's here. doesn't feel sorry for Sheena. She puts herself in situations to get what she wants. Sheena didn't have to have a baby with him, but she kept whining about having a baby before she got with this dude. Absolutely. She played herself. Shan, okay, let me have it, girl.
Okay, I just feel that I've known a couple guys like Brock, and yes, there are the guys who truly are deadbeats. I just want to know a little bit more before I judge, but I totally might be hearing what you're saying and maybe budging a little bit on my stance. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But not on Sandoval.
No.
No. But someone in the chat said, okay, yes, that's right. But someone in the chat did say that he's not a full-on deadbeat, that the wife and kids were here with him, and they're the ones that chose to leave.
So he originally came to America with the wife and kids, and they decided to go back to Australia?
That's what I read in the chat.
Ooh.
Does that maybe change your opinion slightly? Maybe.
I don't know, because I feel like even with that, he could have had something arranged where he gets them like on the summers or something like that, or like something. Like the fact that he has literally no contact for 4 years, it doesn't make sense to me.
I hear you. I really do. I think I've just maybe seen enough broken relationships, and I'm a woman, but I'm gonna call there are some crazy women out there. Okay, I mean,
true.
my ex is somewhat deadbeat, but I mean, I'm not. It's not like I'm always standing up for the guy. I am a single mom, but I don't know. I don't 100% believe it just yet. I need more info. I need more. Do you think they're gonna give it to us though?
I feel like he's going to keep digging his hole, but we will get more info about him. Yeah, I think he's going to keep slipping. But what about the way he talked to Sheena's mom and stuff? Like, does that just not seem,
But again, I can see what he's saying. Like, I'm paying you. So he must be feeling bitter about how much he's paying her. Because I bet you if they'd hired someone else, they wouldn't have been paying as much. So it's really, I think, the money is an issue, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? 4 a.m., leave Sheena with the baby and the mom and everything. And then when Sheena was also having the miscarriage, he left her again to go golfing. Is this not a pattern of him ditching kids? Just curious.
Oh, when you make it, okay, when you put it like that, yes. Are you a lawyer on the side? Because I feel like I just got interrogated there. You're right. Damn it. Greg always makes so much sense.
Oh, it just keeps adding up, like every little thing he does to me, like strings together to create yeah.
I think he's just got too much testosterone. There's that. I know, like for me, like dudes like that, you got to go work out. You got to do this. You got to leave me at 4 a.m. No, we have a newborn and I'm tired. Exactly. So it's like he's just that chachi kind of dude, like a bro.
I could see that for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about deadbeat yet. I'm not there yet, but I will say he did ditch her in that and wasn't nice to her mom. I'll give you that. But I can't call him a deadbeat yet. I just can't.
No. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out. Okay. I might have to rescind myself. Don't worry.
I'm sure you'll be right as always. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye, Shan. Bye. Oh, she's amazing. So what do you guys think? Okay, so it's nice to see like different perspectives on this, because sometimes I do get a little bit fixed in my opinion. So I do definitely need you guys to give me your differing opinions to see if we can meet in the middle on some of these topics. So I'm happy to see Shannon's opinion, and we're going to just continue to watch this play out, because, it's very hard to hide your character, so if this is who he is, it's going to continue to come out. So we'll only have to see, we'll only have to wait and see. So now, Archella. What did you guys think about Archella? It was, to me, absolutely beautiful, incredibly well organized. James is so lucky to have what's his face? Sandoval in his life, because Sandoval went above and beyond. And the fact that he paid for all of this, the taco truck, the silk dancer, the whatever, like the everything, was incredible. James even got to DJ a little bit. Raquel loved it, being the DJ's girl. And then, of course, comes the proposal. Guys, this was one of the most beautiful proposals I have ever seen on TV. It was so, so beautiful. Like they did an amazing job. I'm seeing, sorry, Brittany, let's start with Brittany. It was amazing. Tom did a great job. I actually thought James was sweet doing this during this. He absolutely was. This was gorgeous. He would prefer a full-time nanny than being with hands-on and taking care of his own child. So, well, that's true. Like, and I have to say, it's something that was icing on the cake to me as someone who's not a fan of public proposals. Like, to me, the idea of a public proposal just stresses me out, like it's not my thing. So I was a little bit like, is this too performative for me? I don't know. But he ultimately proposed to Raquel in private at Archella. And then the fireworks to go off just as soon as he does it was such a nice touch. And then everybody wondering what happened because they had no idea it was going to happen was special. To me, this was the perfect mix of, public and private. Like you get to share with your friends automatically, though to me these are not Raquel's friends, right? Like these people kind of look down on her and think she's incredibly dumb. So like, it's kind of like she doesn't really get the real friend aspect of it, but like I like the mix of like the public and private nonetheless. It wasn't like DJ James Kennedy proposed like as he was spinning or whatever. Like it was very thoughtful of him to take her aside and do it this way. And again, this is to me Tom Sandoval's brainchild. And this is why I always say, like, I'm so sad that Tom Sandoval is not with somebody who wants to get married, because if this is what he will plan for James and Raquel, imagine what he would plan for himself and his future fiance. Absolutely stunning. Oh, absolutely stunning. Tasha says, Tom Sandoval had cultural appropriation of Native Americans with Native American land and imagery with the teepee. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's a good point you're raising, Tasha. That is a very good point that you were raising. That's interesting. But I do know when it comes to Tom's nationality, I feel like he kind of talked about being Hispanic, like Native Hispanic or something like that. So maybe this is something that might be involved in his culture as well. I don't know, but this is very interesting point that you raised. And thank you so much for being here, by the way, Ramel, and for calling in a little bit earlier as well. Mel says that, Megley says that James was so romantic. He was, but it was just perfect. I would trust Tom as well. Like I was so jealous of Raquel. I was like, Raquel, this is so beautiful. This is amazing. This is perfect. Cherie says Tom is living his life through James because Tom wants to get married and start a family. And the fact that Tom is like 40 years old basically at this point, it's like, hurry up, Tom, please drop Ariana and find someone who you can have all of that with. Sherelle says, hi, Grace. Toronto in the house. Ooh, hi, Toronto. T. Brock is a walking red flag. I think viewers don't want him to be a deadbeat because he's easy on the eyes. LOL. I also found him disrespectful towards Sheena's mom. See, I think that there's a beauty bias always, because I admit to my beauty bias when it comes to Sandoval. I'll be like, listen, sure, he might be trash, but he's beautiful. So I'm going to overlook the trash a little bit. Olivia says, if my husband ever talked to my mama like that, he'd be pulling his teeth from his stomach. Love it. This definitely did show us a different side of James. He does have a heart, like he really, really tried when it came to this proposal and to Raquel and like encouraging her with her public speaking and everything too. Sheena said on WWHL that she wasn't sure if James would be faithful because of what happened. Oh, the rest of the season. Just when I was on a high, ready to just celebrate and think that, like Tasha says, Raquel is a good person. Like she deserves someone who's going to be faithful and everything. I thought we were going to be smooth sailings, but apparently not. Can you imagine Tom's wedding if he was given full reign? Over the top, gorgeous. Honestly, Ariana is so freaking lucky to be with him. Like, dude, imagine the things he would do for you. Imagine. Yeah. So everyone here is saying, listen, that was an absolutely beautiful, and he really planned it to a T, and he paid. Oh, so Ariana froze her eggs, so she might be interested in it. Can I ask you guys something real quick because I have to go soon? Do you guys think that Ariana and Tom's relationship is a little bit like Jeannie, Mai, and Freddie's relationship, her ex-husband? Because when Jeannie Mai was married to Freddie, she was always adamant about never wanting to have kids. And then she gets divorced from him. And then within 2 years of her relationship with Jeezy, she's remarried and she's pregnant. So is this one of those things where when someone says they don't want marriage, typically the subtext is the fine print is with you. And if they say they don't want to have kids, fine print sometimes is with you. I know that like it's not 100% of the time. Sometimes people genuinely never want to have kids and never want to get married. But I feel like if Ariana is out here freezing her eggs, then maybe she just doesn't want to have kids with Tom specifically. Maybe there's a side of Tom, that we don't really get to see that kind of makes her not really want to have kids with him. Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Okay. So I'm going to let some of you guys' comments filter in because there is a little bit of a delay between the two of us. Tom's living his life through James because everyone's getting married and starting a family but him. I think that is genuinely something that is going to hit him. And I don't know, like, do you think that's something that might hit him by next season? I'm surprised it has not hit him yet, that this is not the relationship for him. Sandoval wants kids too, and Ariana doesn't want to get married or have kids, etc. Yeah, like that is why they are so mismatched. Like to me, they're so mismatched. They really are. Really, really are. What does Dem say? As a Native American, it's not necessarily always insulting to incorporate Native Indigenous themes. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Ariana has narcissistic characteristics in her relationship. Ooh. And Ariana will let Lala eat her cat. You guys are going in now. I think Ariana's been hurt really badly in the past, and maybe she's insecure. She doesn't want to make that big of a commitment. It took them forever to even leave that apartment he shared with Kristen. Yeah, you know what? I could totally see that too. Yeah, it's sad. You never really know. And, Ariana definitely does seem like she's still struggling with all the stuff that she went through in her abusive relationships and whatever else in her life. You guys, I can't believe it. We've come to the end. We've come to the end. Like Shannon Van says, great chat. You guys are amazing. Love the report crew. You guys are the best co-reporters ever. Thank you so much to everybody who left a message. It was so amazing getting to chat with you. Everybody who called in, videoed in. Thank you so much for my super chat. I will see you guys again next week. This is amazing. Honestly, I feel like it's going to be a good season of Vanderpump Rules. We don't have those obnoxious personalities just taking over everything. We've got the more chill, low-key, laid back, outside of Lala, of course, people ready to share their authentic stories. I'm looking forward to next week's episode, which is Katie and Tom opening up about their fertility journey and everything. So it's going to be good, guys. Hang in there. I'm feeling like we're going to have a really good season of the show. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next week. Bye.